What it do, guys? Hope you're all having a great day, and if you're not, I hope by the end of this video you will be. Today we're going to talk about the effect of diet and exercise on your mental health, and hopefully, because I'm wearing this shirt, maybe Gymshark will toss me a bone and give me a sponsorship.
Give me $1, man. Ching. Give me $1, man. Come on, man.
Today we're under a lot more stress than we normally would be. Whether we're all cooped up inside, we're out of work, or we're overworked because we're considered essential personnel. So it's important we do things to improve our mental health. And there's no better way to do this than with diet and exercise. By the end of this video, I'm going to explain the science behind why that is true. I'm sure that many of you have heard that working out makes you happy because working out releases endorphins. And as Elle from Legally Blonde so eloquently put it,
exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands.
Recently though, research has found that endorphins are too large to pass through the blood-brain barrier, which is the membrane that protects your brain from harmful things. So if it's not endorphins making you happy, what is it? Well, it's 4 different things. So, when you work out, your body's under physical stress. This stress triggers the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis,
What is that? What the fuck is that?
or HPA axis for short, because no one has time to say all that. This is in charge of stress response in your body. So, when you start to work out, it triggers your body to produce cortisol. Cortisol causes elevated heart rate and also sweating. But more importantly, it feeds into a negative feedback loop that eventually shuts off your HPA axis. And then after that, it takes a certain amount of time for it to reset before your body can reproduce cortisol. So during that time, you have a sort of mental buffer to stress, even if it's psychological and not physical. One study showed this by having 40 men run for 30 minutes before taking the Montreal Imaging Stress Test, which is basically just where you do a bunch of math problems on a time limit. And as we all know, math can be super stressful because we all suck at it. People who ran on the treadmill before taking the test had lower levels of cortisol, while the people who didn't run had higher levels of cortisol, indicating that they were more stressed than the people who did run. Working out doesn't only help you handle stress though, it also causes your body to produce endocannabinoids, the neurotransmitter related to the so-called runner's high that runners lie about getting.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god.
We know you don't get it. Running sucks. They help anxiety by binding to cannabinoid receptors in your brain. These are the same receptors that THC interacts with when you smoke weed, thus the name cannabinoids. Also, it can help rein in an over-eager HPA axis, which we mentioned before handles your stress response. Working out also helps you produce serotonin, which controls mood in your body. The harder you work, the more serotonin you produce. This is important because low serotonin levels are directly linked to depression and anxiety. The final big benefit of working out is the increased production of brain-derived neurotrophic factors, or BDNFN for short. BDNFN helps neurons grow and form connections with other neurons. This increased BDNF leads to increased neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to reorganize when it learns something new or is faced with a new situation. Neuroplasticity is important because many people with depression suffer from disrupted neuroplasticity. So basically, they can't deal with new stress or new situations because important neurological connections are impaired. The effect of exercise on mental health cannot be emphasized enough. One long-term study published in 2017 showed that people who didn't exercise were 44% more likely to develop depression than people who exercise simply 1 to 2 hours a week. Another research paper done in 2011 showed that exercise can have the same effect of antidepressants over a 4-month time period. You don't have to train like a professional athlete to reap these awards. Just simply go on a walk. Take the stairs when it's available. It's not crazy, but it's important that you get up and get moving for your mental health. Exercise is only half the battle when it comes to your mental health though. There's a growing amount of research showing that nutrition plays a huge role in it as well. They've actually found links between what we eat and our chance of developing a mental illness. One 2013 meta-analysis discovered that people's diets who were high in fish, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables were less likely to develop depression. Another long-term study done in 2017 discovered that a year before people were diagnosed with a mental illness, they had low levels of B6, B12, and folate in their body. Why is this important? And the simple answer is B6, B12, and folates are all antioxidants. They are important because during your daily life, chemical reactions can break oxygen molecules into smaller atoms with an unpaired electron. These are called free radicals. Free radicals are unstable and they scavenge your body cells looking for an electron to pair with. This can lead to stress and disease such as inflammation. This is important because inflammatory molecules affect how chemicals are released in the brain. This is even more relevant because research has found a link between inflammation and depression, which is where the importance of antioxidants such as B6, B12, and folate come in. They hand over their one electron without becoming unstable themselves, which ends the cycle of free radicals scavenging your body looking for an electron. This was further explored in a meta-review done in 2019. If you don't know, a meta-review is basically a review of a bunch of meta-analysis, which is a review of a bunch of studies. So it's a huge sample size. And what they found was that, for one, folates, which are anti-inflammatories, help fight depression when complementing existing treatment. They also found that omega-3s have the same effect. 13 studies encompassing over 1,200 people noted that omega-3s can help treat depressive symptoms in people who have major depression disorders. The authors also noted that there's growing evidence to support that vitamin D might have the same effect. This being said though, it is important to keep in mind that these are not a cure-all. You could have a perfectly good diet and still suffer from depression. So please do not ditch your Paxil for a pack of Sunny D. At the end of the day, diet and exercise play a huge role in our mental health. And in trying times like today, it's important we do all we can to build that up. So that being said, going about your daily lives, just try to be more nutritious in your diet and try to get up and move because it really does make a huge difference. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my other video here about how not to lose your gains in quarantine. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Michael Barnes Fitness, where I post daily fitness tips, tricks, and some of my favorite travel pics I've taken throughout the years. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a friend. And until next time, everybody, stay strong.